Hey gang, Ken Hackathorn back again with another episode of the Masterclass series. You know, about 25 years or so back, I met Dave Spaulding. He was in a SWAT team on a county on the western side of Ohio. I was on the SWAT team from the eastern side, and we were at the OTA conference, the Ohio Tactical Officers Conference. And I met him, we hit it off, solid dude. He's now in the training business. He's one of the very best instructors out there now. Doesn't teach stupid shit, teaches real basic stuff you need to know if you carry a gun for self-defense. If you get a chance, now he's getting up in years and he's looking at slowing down and probably retiring one of these days, so don't put off the opportunity to sign up for one of his classes. If you do, you're gonna miss out. Now, he came up with a drill. We discussed this limited ammunition environment we're in, and he came up with this drill. It's called the 9 in 9. And basically you start about 5 yards from the target. We understand, in the real world, 10 yards is long range. The counters that people, particularly in the private sector, get involved in conflicts tends to be 4 to 5 yards from their adversary. Just think about it. Thinking that somebody's gonna try to rob you or mug you from 10 yards is pretty unrealistic. It's gonna be at fairly close range in the counters. Now, one of the things that Dave does, which I think is really outstanding, is his target that he uses of choice is a 3x5 card. And for example, he will put it in the chest, and it basically represents the heart, major veins and arteries. This is the maximum incapacitation zone in the chest cavity. And think about it, rounds to the thoracic cavity, particularly if they affect the hydraulic lines, causes a loss of blood pressure. It's not instantaneous. You know, some people get shot and go down instantly. That generally is a result of psychologically. Physiologically, until that blood pressure drops, you can still be pretty active. As long as there's a flow of blood to the brain, you can function. Now, so we taped one of these to the target. This is our scoring zone. It hit in here. Anywhere in the white cutting edge is good. Any hit in here is down 0. The way I scored, anything out, in this case, that IDPA 8-inch circle, you're add 1 second to your time. If it's out of the circle in the next zone, you're gonna add 3 seconds to your time. Now, Dave says 9 shots. I'm basically gonna start here about between my starting point and my next firing position is about 5 yards. 5 yards from the target, I gotta move about 5 yards. This is about getting off the X. I'm gonna draw 3 shots, get off the X, move about 5 yards, set up 3 more shots, move back to where I started, 3 more. So it's 3, 3, from here, 3, 9 shots. Now, Dave established what he calls a performance standard of 9 seconds. Now, Dave's a lot younger than I am. Dave's kind of in his mid-60s, I'm in my mid-70s, and I won't kid you, I'm not as fast as Dave. And I can also tell you, back in the day when Dave and I shot together, he's a good shot. As a matter of fact, unless Dave had overindulged in the little Crown Royal the night before, unless he did that, he usually could beat me. But if he kind of overdid that, I could often sneak by him. So he's a good shot. He's a quick dude, much more athletic ability than I have. So I find 9 seconds for me to be pretty tough if I want to get my hits. I'm more in a 10 to 11 second guy. And I'll be honest with you, if you can do this in 10, 11 seconds, 12, you set the standard. If you have to take 15 seconds to do it without throwing your shots, well, that means you need to figure out how to speed up. One of the things you're going to learn in a drill real quick is you want to arrive at your shooting position with the gun ready to shoot. If you move, stop, and then bring the gun back up, you're losing time doing that. So you kind of want to measure if you're going to respond, you want the gun, shall we say, indexed on the target. So I'm on the timer, on the beep, I'm going to draw 3 from here, move to there, 3, move back to here, 3 shots. Let's give it a run and see how it goes. Only 9 shots. I'm going to give you some alternatives as far as rounds once we do it the first time. So let's give it a run. Okay, gang, quick hot wash on the drill. As you can see, time-wise, I was about where I'm normally at. I'm, right around 11 and change, but clean target. I'm happy with it. Remember, any shots off the card, saying this 8-inch circle adds a second to your time. Anything out here adds 3. It's a great drill. If 9 shots are more than what you want to allot on a drill, I cut it down. I often do it, instead of 3, 3, and 3, I do it 2, 2, and 2. So you're shooting 6 rounds. Now your time's gonna drop. Theoretically, I tell people if you can do the 6 rounds, 2, 2, and 2, and you can do it in about 7 to 8 seconds, outstanding. Old guys like me, maybe a little longer. I also take a version of it that I'm real fond of, and I put this card, Dave loves this, I put it up here, and it's headshots, and I do 1 and 1. From start position, 1 headshot, moves off the X, the next position, 1 shot. You gotta have 2 shots in the head. Okay, and the time on that is 2 and 4, which for old guys may be 2 and 5. There's another version of it, for example, where you start, and on the beep, you move to the next firing position and fire the first 3 and back and 3 and then back and 3. In other words, on your initial response, you get off the X. You can play with it, develop it any way you want. Now, one of the questions that often comes up about drills, what should I do with my feet? How should I move with my feet? The answer is you're gonna do what you are naturally programmed to do. For example, the competition shooters will tell you the quickest way to move when you're moving laterally is to cross your feet and step over. That's Game Boy bullshit, don't do that. Because now, unless you practice walking, crossing your feet, you're not gonna do that in the real world. Now, I will tell you, in my youth, and I call my drinking days, I practiced a lot crossing my feet when I walked. I practiced that a lot, but I quit doing that. So you're gonna move the way you naturally move, all right? Don't worry about your footwork. The deal that you wanna be is when you make the decision to shoot, when you stop, you're set up to shoot. You don't want to stop and find you're out of balance or you're having to make a correction. You want to plant so you're ready to shoot. And the old deal is don't shoot before you've got an index on a target and you can produce a good trigger press. I see guys say, well, the gun's still wobbling when I shot anyway. Well, you're probably not going to shoot as well as you want. So you get stationary, well-planted, rigid gun mount, and that way you can control your shots. Good drill. I think Dave hit this one out of the park. 5 yards of movement. These things are cheap. You can buy a bundle of these at Walmart or wherever you buy your stuff for next to nothing. I use spray glue, and you can tape them up with white masking tape or just spray it and put another one up. Great drill. Take it to the range, work on it. I guarantee you, for the real world, super beneficial. If you carry concealed, put your concealment garment on, and remember, the first one you shoot cold is the only one that really matters. Stay safe. See you next time.